Greetings, Pod fans. It's day 2 of Pod Vajida. Pod videos himself every day in April. Every freaking day. And today I want to take a moment and talk about cosplay. Why? Well, because I'm pretty sure I did a lot of it last year and might be fun. So I'm going to rate the costumes that I have done, which there haven't been a whole load, but it's a nice thing to talk about because Kaizoku-Con, the convention where I usually put on the costumes and enjoy myself, was supposed to be this weekend. And of course that was cancelled for reasons that I'm not going to mention, because let's try and keep this a safe space bubble for today. So I'm going to be rating costumes that I've done from 5 to 1 based on how I like them and how comfortable they were. Once I get past the first one, it does get a little hazy where I don't really have like a clear-cut preference on things. But we'll do our best. So in the number 5 spot, my least favourite costume that I've really done was my first ever costume. I dressed as Portgas D. Ace from One Piece. You see, I had seen the anime, started watching it, fell in love with the character, and I decided that I wanted to do this. At the time I had no crafting experience. I didn't really have any money, so I wasn't buying stuff off the internet. And it was just kind of thrown together. On the day, once I had everything on, I felt okay in it, but I was still really awkward about the whole thing. I'd never worn a costume like this before. It was something that I really wanted to do, but I was super shy about the whole thing. People still took pictures and all of that, but in the end, I think I spent at most about an hour in the costume. So yeah, not the best. I think this was back in 2014? I want to say 2014, so about 6 years ago. But yeah, it didn't feel great. It was a start into cosplay, but the thing was, I didn't do any for another, I would say, around 4 years. Next up, in the 4th place, was what I did at Kaizoku-Con last year. I did a costume of Casey Jones. I really liked it. It was really comfortable to wear. It was a lot of fun, and I did put effort into it, but no one had any idea who I was. The entire day I kept getting questions about like, oh, you're Jason from The Thing. And I was like, not. Casey Jones, TMNT. The main problem there was it's not really easy to find a hockey stick on short notice in Ireland. So I had a baseball bat, you know, he uses all sorts of sporting equipment, but it just didn't land. I still really like the costume. I think it is really fun. I've loved Casey Jones since I was a kid, and it was really nice to portray him, and I went for a very gritty look and just felt powerful for the day. Number 3 is a bit of a two-parter. We've got both Old Man Joseph and Young Man Joseph. They were done at different events, but I just lump them in together because it's the same damn character. Both of them really comfortable. The Old Man Joseph, it was just like wearing clothes, except I had a white beard. The Young Man Joseph, that was wearing a belly top and showing off my things. I made things for those. The Old Man Joseph came together in about 24 hours because I was in a rush. The Young Man Joseph, I just kind of cut things, I painted the headband, and I had a lot of fun with it. Down to the number 2 was actually something that I did this year. What? Oh my god! So I dressed as Gallo from Promare. If you've heard of it, you've heard of it. If you've seen it, even better. So it is a movie about firefighters and mechs and all these cool things. I went to see this movie in the cinema. It was showing on one single day in Cork, and I absolutely loved it because it was made by the same people as my favourite anime ever, Gurren Lagann, and with Gallo they just kind of copy, paste, change a little bit. So he's pretty much the same character, looks very similar, and Kamina from Gurren Lagann is someone who I've always wanted to cosplay. Gallo, it just worked. I threw it together. Myself and my girlfriend, we actually styled the wig, pointed it, and spent about 3 hours cutting this really long wig up. And then on the day, it just worked. The dyeing of my beard, perfect. The colour just worked. Just chef's kiss, you know, all of that. And there were a number of people who actually knew who I was, which was the best. It wasn't at that one, but right here you can see is an art print. It is signed by the English voice actor of Gallo. Really cool. It was gotten for me. I really like it. It's cool. And finally, we're down to the number 1 spot. What could it be? Oh my god! It's my very first, what I consider my first real dip into cosplay. Because, it's of course Krieg, which I did at KaizokuCon 2018. So I had taken that long time not cosplaying, and I really, really wanted to all these times. Couldn't figure out what I wanted to do, how to do any of it. I had no crafting experience or even just costume experience, nothing. So I got onto my good friend Jamie. He was absolutely overjoyed with the idea that, someone he knew wanted to get into cosplay as well. So we spent 8 days in his kitchen just going mad and throwing things together. He was building a suit of armor, I was building my Krieg stuff, and we finally got it done. And I loved it. Anytime I talk about this costume, I just kind of talk about the fact that it takes a village, because I got help with the painting. I had never used foam before, so I learned in those 8 days. The body paint was done by a magnificent lady named Maria, who just came to my house in the morning and did it, and it was mind-blowing and made the costume better than it could have ever been. Anyone who had a hand in making that and helping me with it just made it so much nicer than anything I could have done, which is madness. So yeah, that was my top 5. There were 6 costumes in there, I know, but my top 5 cosplays that I've done. The craziest thing is, KaizokuCon would be this weekend. I have 1 costume which is 80% done. I haven't done anything with it because there's no urgency and I just don't feel like it. I have another costume which I would say about 50% done. I bought things and then there are stuff that I have to craft, but there's that. And then I have a 3rd costume which I just bought the entirety of, which I don't know if I ever want anyone to see it because it's kind of a joke one, but we'll see. So I have about 3 costumes in this house. 1 that's completely done, 1 because I just bought it, 1 that is almost done, and another where it's got the base components, I just need to add stuff on. So yeah, for once ever, I was well prepared, and the event got cancelled. All events got cancelled across the world. But yeah, that was my little spiel about cosplay. If you have any experience with cosplay or costumes or anything, even if it's just that you would like to get into it or you have some interest, let me know in the comments. Maybe we can have a conversation about it. Also, I'll be streaming. You can pop on over and say hi if you'd like, ask me questions, something, I don't know. Someone help me, I'm going mad. But yeah, thank you for hanging out. This was a suggestion by my friend Amy. She told me to talk about the cosplays I've done. And yeah, thank you for that. Other suggestions are welcome. I still have like a big list of things. It's just putting them into action. So yeah, I will talk to you all tomorrow. Enjoy yourselves, don't get lost, and Sloan.